What's up, everyone? Welcome back to a new video on the AM Alco channel. Today we'll be going over the markets again. Today we will be going over the stock market at first, since we had that beautiful market open where we had an initial move towards the downside, and then that big, beautiful bill got announced. And where did it get announced? Right around this time, or later even. Should be like 10 to 20 minutes ago from the moment I'm recording this video. So what did we really see on that open? Well, we gapped down and then we fully made that reversion. We took out some liquidity from these points. What do we see? That beautiful upwards move, that compression, and that move towards the upside, that impulse. So we are still chopping around. This is what I said. If we really don't get like clearly above this level on a daily, we should just keep chopping around. So for the Nasdaq, that should be the exact same. So when we look at this, it looks a little bit better, but this is still major chop. The Dow Jones looks worse, but still in chop. So the thing people are here for, of course, is Bitcoin. What was that previous video about? We stated at this point in price that we really did not want to see rounding where we get back below this point, because then we could get like a BO3 where we get a move towards the downside at first. So that setup that I shared like 2 days ago from the top of my head, that was, I think, right around here. Yeah, I made a video right around here. So that this setup has been drawn by this time, where I stated if we manage to clear this, the retest could be a logical level to get into a trade, to trade it into that 120k. In the end, it went to 122k. So who am I to complain? So when we are looking at it from the next extensions, right? Because I do think we should see a little bit of a range forming, or even some downwards move, but I will get into that in a bit. But for those upside targets, these should be your levels, but I think it is way more logical to chop around a bit more before we start going up again. So what do I mean with this? Because of course there's always a lower time frame setup to be taken, but I don't think this is a good time to position yourself into swings. Maybe on some alts, but I really wouldn't like to bid Bitcoin here to trade it all the way into here. I would buy it to trade it into here, right? So a smaller type of trade I will be taking on BTC, but I won't be holding my trades for a while until we get some clear uptrend again, where we just have some massive impulses. But until then, I will remain a scalper, where I just take these tiny moves that are given by the market, right? So I shorted this one right here in the Discord. I did take like 75% out of the position right here. I still have a little bit of that short running from that area. So what should we be looking at on that 15-minute? We are clearly back below that 120k, right? So the thing I wanted to point out, I will do that on the volume chart actually. When we're looking at this here, we again have that same logic where I stated we did not want to get back below, because this was that Fibonacci extension level as well, where this was your range, your value area high. What did you do? Broke, held, impulse. So keep that in mind. So what would we want to see hold? That was not supposed to happen. This point right here, these current highs, well, these previous highs, to say it. Because if we manage to hold it, it could be quite well, but if we don't find acceptance above it, it will be quite shit. Oh, 1 second. Okay, thanks for waiting, guys. I'm back. Someone called me real quick. What would we like to see? This current highs being held, which right now it does seem to be doing, but we will get into that on the lower time frame as well. Where again, what did we have on the New York Open, guys? You see this? We have this point where the price opens for that New York session. We go down initially, we reclaim it, we get an impulse, we later get a reversion towards the downside. But in my opinion, from this point, I pointed this out in the Discord as well, where currently it is a bit worse to see because now that imbalance has been filled. But there was a major imbalance right here in terms of liquidity and in terms of volume, but as you can see right now, it has been cleaned up quite nicely since we traded into this already. So now there has been more volume and more liquidity traded. So this void has now already been fixed. So what do we see as of now? See that previously we had this value here at these highs where we traded a bit of time before we started breaking up again. And what do we see right now? Again, we are forming some value. So that would be from this current point. Let me do that a little bit better. From this current point till the current high. I'm not mistaken, yes. Till this. Redeem this point to be that value where we spend a lot of time. So from this little point, what should we be expecting? Quite clearly either breakout or breakdown, but in my opinion we will be ranging for a little bit more. A thing I do expect is some sort of tiny impulse where we then form a lower high, which would give like a pretty clear invalidation if we trade into here, or perhaps even trade into here and then rotate towards the downside, giving you this as a clear invalidation. So that would be a nice setup, but overall, I really can't be like maximum bullish here or maximum bearish, since we're just trading inside a range. So with that having said, when we just look at this, yeah, we clearly want to see this area getting held. And that same is also seen right here. So now that we are done with BTC, let's get into ETH. So we see this range high. We currently have been rejected from it, but I still expect this to break out, where I think this will keep grinding up slowly while BTCD starts to crash a little, where I have shown this bit before, where I say that BTC will do some sort of range, perhaps even a little bit of downwards chop, where we don't really make very deep pullbacks, but just a grind down, where I think ETH will most likely be doing it in a bullish variant, where it will be higher highs, higher lows, but just very micro movements and then suddenly just start to move, which is a thing ETH likes to do. So we clearly should break this, right? On the daily, if we close above this with the body of the candle, it should give a little bit of a break. And then that next question will be, of course, can we hold this? Then we can see that 3,300 level I've been talking about for a while. So when we look at ETH on a volume level, we have seen right here on that 1 hour, we had a similar setup where we wanted to see this level getting held on the video from 2 days ago. And here, what we want to see hold that value area low, which it held quite perfectly, started to get an impulse, retested that PLC, confirming that buyers are inside of this move right there, and this shit starts to go up. even had a little retest, later found acceptance below it, which we currently still are doing. So if we don't get back above this, expect a bit of downside. In my opinion, downside looks a bit more logical than upside on the lower time frames. So wait for either some sort of clear break, or take a little bit of risk on and trade some sort of sweep if given. So when we look at this point, I think this should really be that decisive area that we either break off from it or that we start to roll over and take some liquidity even lower. So with that having said, on the lower time frame, a little bit leaning towards the bearish side, but when I was talking about this 1 minute earlier, there is a reason that I closed my shorts, because there could be a bounce coming from here, but then the only question is, will it be here, or perhaps even higher, right? We don't know yet. So we have a clear invalidation that if we don't get above this current area, we should most likely rotate down a bit first, whether it will be here or that we take this liquidity, perhaps fill this void on volume, and then start to go up again. We don't know yet. It's a bit indecisive today, to be honest. So let's see if there is a bit more clearance on EVBTC right now. Not real clear yet. Still trading into resistance with a lot of wicks on the upside. So I assume BTD doing the opposite. Okay, no, this is actually quite well, where we have clearly made these lower highs, right? Looking very, very nice. So I wanted to keep it a bit shorter today. A thing we do have seen pull back today a little bit as hype. It's still a very strong pair in my opinion, so this could be one to keep our eyes on. It could also trade into this if BTC or ETH wants to do a little bit of a weird thing. But hype seems to be leading the market a little bit. That this low on hype was made 1 day before the entire market bottomed. And here it topped, and literally the entire market started topping the day after. So I will be keeping my eyes on hype for now to just study the strength in terms of correlation, right? So I would suggest you guys do the same, backtest this at first, so you get comfortable with it and you start to understand the logic. So yeah, on the lower time frame, there could be a bit of an impulse move to trade, but the risk is not really that good in my opinion, but it could be worth a while, where yeah, we wouldn't like to see a close back below this, and we would like to see a close above this point, right? So I think that will be it for today, guys. I hope you liked the video. It's a bit indecisive today, so hence my bias is not really clear right now. I'm just scalping these lower time frame moves, right? But if you're not comfortable with these type of moves, just stay out of the market till there is a clear trend to be played, right? Because this, even when we look at this on the 1 hour, it's just chop, right? We have no clear breaking here. We had a 3 hour move and then it started to chop around again. So we need to be scalping until we start getting some sort of momentum back like this, where we would be able to hold trades for a bit longer. But this could still be chop. What we do see on that ETH BTC, on that ETH volume chart, I mean, this was your value area high, which you seem to be retesting. So here that invalidation was quite clear, right? That this we don't want to see. We don't want to see it being unable to reclaim this, because then we should be playing it towards the downside. What do we want to see? It getting back above this and then starting to play it towards the upside again. So keep that in mind for that ETH setup. For BTC, it is quite similar, of course, where this was just your previous highs. Instead of it being your value area high, these were your previous highs. So if this holds, it could give a bit of an impulse, in my opinion, but won't it roll over after? I am unclear for now. I really want to see what price does around this level. So if the big seller starts stepping in, it is likely better to trade this as a short. So here comes that thing in terms of management and in terms of rule sets. What do you want to do? Do you want to play counter trend, be a little bit more on the risky side, but perhaps have a quick trade, but perhaps have a lower win rate? Or would you like to wait for a clear reversal where you form a lower high and then trade that bigger move? You have to be more patient, but those are usually those safer setups that, if they are given, they are quite nice to play. So I hope you liked it. If you guys want me to add anything else into these videos, make sure to let me know. I won't be going over Market Monkey terminal today, but yeah, it's quite similar, but now we're just doing all of it by hand, and Market Monkey terminal just automates this for us, which is quite handy if you are trading with a lot of speed and frequency. So with that being said, guys, baby out.